What I love most about homestyle Cantonese cooking is its simplicity. We're making a delicious pork patty with Mui Choy today, and it just, oh, so many nostalgic memories of this sauce over rice. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and Mui Choy is one of those preserved vegetables that I just love. And I don't cook with it often because I think it intimidates me a little bit, but it's actually very easy to use. Mui Choy is a preserved mustard cabbage, and you can find these in the Asian markets. I don't think I've ever seen it in a regular supermarket because it is a little bit of a specialty product that probably only Chinese people use or Asians use. And it comes in well, the one I bought is about a 1 pound bag. You can find them in smaller bags, but they don't really, well, I want to say they don't go bad, but there is an expiration date on them. But once it's been opened, it doesn't have to be refrigerated, so long as it's being put into an airtight container. And you don't need a lot to add flavor to your food. It comes like this. And I believe it's just preserved by salt. There's probably other ingredients in there, but it's super salty. So what you need to do is take off the portions that you want to use and rinse it really well under water by opening up all the leaves as well. So I've done that, and now I'm letting it soak for about 10 minutes. And then I am going to drain and squeeze out all of the liquid before using it. The steamed pork patty is the same recipe from my elevated cookbook. And I'm starting off with 1 pound of ground pork, adding 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, probably a little bit more, about a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of Shaoxing wine. And Shaoxing wine is a rice wine, but you can use, we've used bourbon in substitute, but sherry is also a good substitute. Or if you don't have any, just omit it. It's just a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of sesame seed oil, a good pinch of ground white pepper, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And then we're going to just stir this and mix it in one direction only. And since my last video, I found out that the reason why you only stir in one direction is to create strands of stickiness within the pork. I don't know if it makes sense to me still, but it's better than my mom say, stir in one direction only, because if you do it the other way, you'll undo everything. So stir until all the ingredients are well combined and you start to see the strands of pork as you stir. We're making this in the 8-quart today because I know that my plate can fit in the 8-quart, but not the 6-quart. If you're going to use the 6-quart, you may have to cut this recipe in half. We're going to press it down into the plate until you form about a 3/4 inch patty. You don't want to press too hard because you want the pork to be soft and not like a thick, solid piece of meat. So we're setting the pork aside while we chop up the Mui Choy, and you want to squeeze all of the liquid out after you have soaked it. This is about 3 ounces, maybe as you pull it out, it's about this much. It's also about 80 grams. So I would say if you're measuring, maybe about a cup. So we're just going to chop it up finely, and then we're just going to sprinkle it on top. Every family has their own recipes for steamed pork patty, but We like to have our Mui Choy just sitting on top, but some families will have it incorporated right into their pork patty. There's also a whole bunch of different varieties of ways that people eat pork patty with different toppings and different types of fillings. So it's really a very versatile dish, but this was one of my favorites. Okay, so I chopped it up quite fine. I don't like having big chunks of Mui Choy when I take a bite, so I do cut them up quite finely. And we're just going to put this on top. You want to make sure that your plate that you're using also has a lip, because it's going to produce a lot of sauce. And you need to be able to do that without it spilling over. I'm using the 8-quart Instant Pot today, and I already have about a cup of water down at the bottom. And we're using the steam rack to put the dish in. Locking the lid into place, making sure the sealing knob is on sealing. And we're cooking on high pressure. Sorry, I'm not familiar with my 8-quart as much. High pressure for 15 minutes. And that's it. See you in a bit.
It's making dying noises.
All right. I always take the knob off because often the knob falls right off when I take the lid off. So see what we got. I also quick release, FYI.
Look at all that sauce.
Whoa.
Who says recipe videos can't be dangerous?
It is if you're watching me. It's really super yummy with all the sauce that it's created. And you can serve this over rice, and all the sauce will soak into your rice, and everything is going to be so yummy. You can also serve it with some green vegetables on the side to make it a balanced meal. But I know you guys are all just waiting for...
You know, the last time you did a pork patty recipe was like over a year ago. Anyways, it's that time of year. The weather has turned in Vancouver, and I like to call it, many people like to call it Raincouver. It's been a series of days of rain and kind of changes your mood for food too. And this recipe is really appropriate for those kind of days. Nostalgic, home style, real simple. And with the rice, some veg, and a pool of delish sauce. Dude, what's not to like? Look at that. Oh yeah. Lovely. It's gonna be one of those simple kind of the tastes because, it may take longer. It's really hot. You see the steam? It's gonna be hot, dude. 30 minutes later. If y'all didn't know or are new to the channel, my tongue burns like even if something is lukewarm. It's sad.
It is sad.
The pork is nice and soft, and you have the texture difference with the Mui Choy, and just the right size too, because if it's too big, it would just inundate the meat and it would be kind of sloppy. So here we go. Wow. You know, what I like about this version is that the meat has a lot of flavor in it already and it has great texture, but you add the preserved veg with it, with the contrasting of the flavors of that, which is sweet and kind of, is it sweet and salty at the same time? Wow, and a bit of crunch to it with rice, swimming in sauce. Delish. Simple deliciousness. Hot.
Thanks, dude. Hope you agree that that was really simple to make, and don't be afraid of using the preserved vegetable. It is something that is not usual, but If you start using it, you'll find that it's also good on fish and duck and chicken. It's delicious. Let me know in the comments below what type of variation of steamed pork patty you like. To check out more Cantonese homestyle meals, I will see you over there.